say? Yeah, okay. You're very welcome back to Pearse Stadium. It is a doubleheader of action here, brought to you by Galway GATV. It is a conjunction between Stream Sport and Galway Bay FM. First up, probably a game that was a lot more exciting than many people, myself included, anticipated, but I did see a vital victory for Rook Gerard, 111 over 110 over Montpellier Mila. Now action turns to pretty much a West Side derby, you could call it. It's Group 2. It's still the Bon Secours Galway Senior Football Championship, and it is Bearna and Forbacha, Bearna commonly known, against Killannin, and this as a game that has a good bit on the line, and Bearna are happy that they do have a couple of their big players back. Their campaign has been hindered a good bit with some of their star players having been away, but they are able to recall the likes of Killannin. Of course, you'll recognise Sean Fitzgerald as well, a couple of other players that have highlighted themselves in the maroon jersey recently. But they are playing against a Killannin team that are, of course, started off the campaign with that thrilling come from behind victory over St James's. Have that lovely combination of a couple of underage success teams coming forward, and experienced players. Johnny Heaney is probably the more high profile. But they do have the likes of Dara Walsh. You remember his father back in the day, Kevin, involved in the Cork setup for the year to come as well. But he's got the most 2-pointers of any player, I believe, over the course of the campaign so far. So it promises to be a fascinating battle. And hope if it's anyway as exciting as the first game here, we're in for one hell of a thriller. We'll give you the team lineups, and we'll start with Bearna and Forbacha in goal. Will be number 1, James Keane. The full-back line will be number 6, Caleb Rooney. Number 3 will be James Kennedy. And number 4 will be Aaron Kavanagh. The half-back line will be number 2, Donncha Naughton. Number 9, Sean Fitzgerald is at centre-back. And number 17 is Donncha Ford. Middle of the field then is Caleb Malone wearing 8. Alongside him, number 10, Killannin, as we talked about, the big boost to their side. The half forward line, number 12, Tom O'Connor. Number 21 is here is Donncha McComsky at centre forward. He's at centre forward. And number 7 is Dara Cox. The inside line then is probably their sharpshooter to date, Galway under 20 star. Wearing number 11 will be Sean Dunn. He's pretty much got the majority of their scoring so far. Full forward is Declan Walsh. He'll wear number 25. And in the corner forward position is number 14, Tom Curran. We look at the Killannin team then, and they line up as follows. In goal will be number 1, James Walsh. Number 2 will be Donald Henderson. Number 3, Sam Keating. Number 19, Ted McAndrew. Half back line is number 5, Cormac Keaveney. At centre back, wearing 25, is Roland Caldwell. And number 7, Brian Mitchell. Middle of the field, a couple of the youngsters that have been highly promising young talent coming through is number 8, Dara Walsh, and number 9, Ryan Roach. Half a forward line, and number 10, Jack O'Toole, wearing 6 as centre forward, but you'll probably see him anywhere, is Johnny Heaney. And number 12 is Keane Marks. Inside line, number 21, Carl Walsh. Number 14, Patrick Sweeney. And number 11, Enda Kelly. That's the bit of scampering done in the press box before us. We can relax now. The game of football takes place. Late team changes. They're in high profile, high changes along. A couple of interesting ones to know, probably more so on the Bearna perspective.
Yeah, most certainly. Killannin and Sean Fitzgerald in the middle of the pitch, they'll be looking to have a big impetus. Killannin, on the other hand, Ryan Roach and Dara Walsh have been excellent in the first 2 games. We've seen the range of kicking that Dara Walsh has displayed in the first 2 games, so that's going to be a pivotal battle, and one I'm sure the Killannin guys will be really, really up for, because like we touched on, Pádraig guys will be looking at games like this, and Dara Walsh, Ryan Roach have been quite impressive in the earlier rounds, and this will be a big battle for them. Sean Fitzgerald, we know his physical presence that he'd normally have in around the full back line, but Killannin as well. So Sean Dunn up front, like you touched on, appears to be starting inside in the corner, so they'll be Bearna from their offensive perspective will be trying to get early ball into him. Patrick Sweeney starts as well, so Patrick, we know the experience that he has and the impact, so again he'll know a lot about Killannin, they'll know a lot about him, so that'll be an interesting battle between him and James between him and James Kennedy. So again, that's going to be an intriguing battle inside. But touching on, like Jonathan said, Killannin haven't won the 20s in recent years. Them young guys coming through the Roaches, and you have Brian Mitchell and a lot of lads that were on those teams seem to be coming, and you need them. And obviously the key player, number 6, is Johnny Heaney, and Johnny's going to be playing on the centre forward role. And given the breeze and the significance of it, with the likes of Dara Walsh and Johnny Heaney in the ranks of Killannin, they're going to have to be tagged in terms of their ability to score 2-pointers into that Rockbarton end. So it'll be intriguing and interesting, like we touched on the first game, to see who wins the toss and where they play in the first half.
It's a fascinating battle, really, because this game can swing anyway. You look at Bearna in particular. I suppose their number one aim is to avoid relegation. Places can switch a lot here. Score difference probably isn't their friends starting out. They could potentially need to win by 5 points to try and gain a leg or two up the table as well. We'll go through all those permutations in a moment. First, we will stop for our Naveen. That is the end of the formalities prior to this game taking off. We'll look at the table before things stand. Mark Cullen will top the group unless something absolutely drastic happens. Killannin and St James start the day on 2 points apiece, and Bearna and Forbacha start at bottom of the table on 0 points. But the next step up is only 2, Eddie, so we could be looking at the calculators. I suppose from their point of view is they've got to win the game, and they've probably got to win it by that 5 point buffer unless there's a draw between St James's and Marcullen. But prior to all that, they have to forget about those permutations and just try and get a performance on the pitch here. Yeah,
and we can see from the outset the ball being thrown in here that Killannin are playing with the breeze in the first half. So from Bearna's perspective, they need to stay in the game, they need to be alive in it, which is really, really important. Especially like we touched on, given the fact that the likes of Johnny Heaney, the likes of Dara Walsh, who have that ability to score long rangers, and it could get away from Bearna early on if they do give them the opportunity.
Ryan Walsh gets on the attack straight away. Dara Walsh, he loves a 2-pointer. This time has been forced away, but on the loop comes Ryan Walsh into the boards. The corner they go. Killannin having the early possession. Shortly hand pass back finds Dara Walsh, but injuries, a lot of duress now. Sean Fitzgerald is back there. They've outs him over the line, but it is a line ball actually given towards Bearna there as well, so they win the first little mini match. Of course, a lot of movement in front of us on the dugouts and I suppose lines, the sideline more accurately in front of us. But a word of note, Cossie Gilmore, he's had some CV starting to put together, is the incoming Galway under-17 manager for the year ahead, involved in Ted Webb as well. Glittering career. Someone lad on Twitter told me this morning has played for Longford as well back in the day as well, so quite a CV he's putting together from a person.
He certainly has. I remember Cossie involved with Ted Webb teams in 2003, and that's over 20 years ago, and like we touched on, played with Longford, a really good guy, and we saw he got a bounce out of Bearna last year, but has been involved with club football and now in around the Ted Webb set up this year as well, and county underage team. So I'm delighted for him and wish him the best of luck in his role as under-17 manager for the seasons ahead. Yeah, plenty of Galway perspective on the sidelines as well. Gay O'Brien is the Killannin manager, but Kevin Walsh will be watching on from the sidelines as well, part of the Killannin backroom staff. And on the attack comes Kenevi now outside the 45, gives it back towards Dara Walsh, going for his first 2 points of the game. This one looks good. Oh, we told you. Comes across. It's a beautiful strike in the end. Might even be Johnny Heaney, I beg your pardon, that's gone and nailed it. It's a 2. It is indeed Johnny Heaney, the Galway man. We said he could turn up anywhere. He's nailed one from distance.
Maybe a little bit of a stray blow off the ball there as well. Sees Ronan Caldwell down on the ground. But Johnny Heaney, less than 2 minutes gone, has opened up the game with absolute beauty.
Yeah, we touched on it before throw-in that Johnny has it in the locker to do that. Dara Walsh does too. As does in the Kelly inside, a really good free taker from the hands with the breeze, so he'll be able to give that option as well. But a really good score for Johnny Heaney.
So James Keane now goes to restart. They've kickouts proved troublesome and troublesome even in the first half. That one caught up in the breeze, but it has been won over there by Tom O'Connor as gets possession of the ball back for his side as well. And Bearna will come forward for the first occasion. They decide to work this one through the lines a little bit more. Picked up here by Aaron Kavanagh across to Sean Fitzgerald. Doesn't matter what number he's on his back, you'll recognise the bleach blonde hair. Of course, he's a key part of this side, was away for a while, but has left a big impact on this side. As Bearna now come forward, the wind catches that, and Kennevy into the game early straight away, makes a vital intervention. Jack O'Toole, he's fouled in his own half-back line. So here come Killannin, they're going to solo and go, in fact. Not wasting any time is Dara Walsh, hand pass across now, and himself already, Eddie, and Ryan Roach, the two midfielders, they're on a save wavelength with each other. How many times have they passed the ball to each other in the opening 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, most certainly you can see that they're used to playing together, and that's always important for a midfield pairing, that they play regularly and they know each other's games, and you can see that from the two midfielders in the early stages. James
Kennedy does well just to get a boot in the way there. It's picked up now by Sean Fitzgerald. Off come Bearna on the attack now from their own half-back line. Across here it comes to Donica Ford. Ford looks up and hand passes the ball back now, where it's picked up by Rooney. Rooney looks possession of the football in his own half-back line, left-hand side. Across it comes towards James Keaveney. Kennedy even, and comes across now in turn for Rooney, picks it up, and Sean Fitzgerald now tries to attack from deep, gives it towards Derek Cox. Cox now pretty much runs it back across his half-back line. It's Killannin leading by 2 points to no score. 4.5 minutes gone here at Pearse Stadium. Killannin, with the aid of the breeze, got the first score of the game, a beauty strike. A 2-pointer from Johnny Heaney. That's the only movement the umpires have made here at the start of this game. Bearna and Forbacha are keeping a lot of possession of the football as they play against quite difficult weather conditions here in Salthill. Probably weather has improved slightly since the crazy scenes that we had at times in the first half. It's a little bit of a clip there on Donegal Naughton as he came flying forward with the ball. Be telling off, nothing else. And Tom Curran looks to restart his side. Chips the ball in field. Might give the hand pass back again, and does indeed as he runs across us here in front of the main stand here. And Salthill, short hand pass down the line where Naughton gives it back towards Curran. Curran now driving forward. And there's a lot of pressure from Henderson. A little bit too much is the official's decision there. Not really a scoreable situation, you would feel. I know you look at Sean Dunn when sprinting for the ball, he's been their sharpshooter to date, but it's left to Tom Curran. Now normally on a normal day this is a pretty much bread and butter. Now thankfully he's doing the sensible thing and putting it on the floor, but he's on the 21, maybe about 10 yards in from the sideline, but into that swirling Salthill breeze he attempts to get his side's first game score of the game, and just a case of a sign of how strong that breeze is, he placed the ball on the grass, and just a little bit of a puff of a breeze knocked it over. So the second time he comes Tom Curran, who strikes it. He's dragged it a little bit towards the left hand side and wide. Their first wide of the game. Risk stating the absolute obvious, Eddie, but that score and goal down to the Oris and the Bearna throw end. It's a very difficult goal to score into.
Yeah, we saw in the first game, I think 1-5 in the 1 hour of play plus the 8 injuries, so in over 70 minutes of football nearly was scored. So it's not we're not going to see too many scores into the Oris Bearna throw end.
James Walsh with a beautiful kick out over towards the left hand side, tried to find Brian Mitchell, but it is a Bearna who have robbed possession, and now they come and flying for themselves on the counter attack. Killannin back from a spell in the States. It's half blocked down though, and that allows James Walsh to come out. He's under a lot of duress, but he has been fouled as well. But it's so noticeable at times that both teams, they seem to take pride in winning the other team's kick out.
Yeah, it's a big factor in the game now. If you can win a kick out, it just gives that I suppose the supporters like it too, and it's always that tactical piece in terms of whether you push out, you stand back, and we touched on it before the game. The two midfield pairings are quite strong for both teams, and the midfield battle is going to be important. So if you do win or turn over a kick out, it gives impetus.
Jack O'Toole that time a little bit too eager, and the free is going to be brought forward now as well. This ball has been grabbed here, and quickly Sean Dunn chips it over. I think the referee isn't happy that he hasn't placed it. The tee's out on the pitch as well, which isn't happy, so it will be free just outside the 21 in front of the goal here for Bearna. Can they get their first score of the game? We saw Tom Curran with an effort a couple of moments ago himself, and Sean Dunn are having a conversations with each other. It is Tom Curran that has won that many war of words between the teammates, and this time off the hands he will strike towards the goal here. 8 minutes gone on the clock. It's Killannin who lead Bearna by 2 points to no score, but Dunn Curran off the hands will strike with the right, and that one looks good. It's a great kick against the elements and gets his side's first score of the game, 2 points to 1. But a fine strike, and that punishment gets punished by Bearna. And now James Walsh, he went over towards the left hand side the first time. That was gobbled up by Bearna. Can they do the same again here? Ball has been blown off the surface again, so I might have said a little bit too eagerly that the wind has settled down again. We'd almost need like Ruby, a lad lying down at the fingertip to hold it into place.
Yeah, it just shows the strength of the breeze, and it's like we touched on, blown straight down to the Rockbarton Road end.
Johnny Heaney wins the break though, and Killannin now move it through the hands. Jack O'Toole runs over towards the left hand side. That's taken up by Ryan Roach. Big fielder has gone over towards the left wing, gives it back towards Keane Marks now as he bounces inside the 45, solos in, short little hand pass through, and Killannin now there's a good bit of blue there in front of them. Heaney picks things up and now bounces, trying to go left and right. Jar Walsh is on the loop, so the two big sharpshooters combine, certainly from distance. The ball is almost basketball style got around there, but it is picked up now by Jack O'Toole, who moves it off the shoulder quickly. Killannin now looking for a bit of movement. There's nobody really in around the house. If they left Patrick Sweeney, but he's just outside the 21. That allows Ryan Roach to find a pocket of space on the right hand side. Might have been foul there. Keane Hernan looks like he's going to tag the big midfielder. The two of them combine though. The ball bobbles away off a couple of bodies and move it through the hands, and Enda Kelly, he had to cover a good bit of ground there as well. I think one of the Bearna players couldn't break the line as well, just to add to the occasion. Carl Walsh with a fine ball in towards Patrick Sweeney, and the ball just bounces off the surface before he could get control, because Eddie, if he got that ball, you're thinking onion bag again.
Yeah, it was a good ball in, to be fair. Patrick just probably was unlucky because it did skid off the surface, but it looked at one stage he was going to win it. He didn't, and it tailed off to the end of wide. But good patient play from Killannin, but equally Bearna very well set up, and they'll probably be the happier of the two sides, being only 2 points to 1 down with such a big breeze after 10 minutes.
So here comes James Keane as he tries to restart possession for his side. It's Killannin leading by 2 points to 1, and Keane gives it the boot up shy of midfield. Heaney swings a box on it, but it breaks kindly over there. And Bearna now come on the attack now themselves. Donica Ford loses the ball but keeps on going, almost soccer style. Does he get a little bit of a push? It's Tom Curran who gets a poke on the ball up ahead, and it's gone very scrappy. Sean Dunn then scoops the ball over towards the right hand side. Tom Curran will come across to pick up possession. He's all the way over on the right hand side as they try and hard run through it, and there's a foul there again. Perhaps could have been allowed to go forward on the break, but the referee's whistle had been gone. But the Bearna work rate is quite impressive out there so far.
Yeah, they've started well, Bearna, to be fair. They're keeping the ball and they're disciplined in the tackling, well set up defensively. Killannin, on the other hand, also quite well set up defensively. Ted McAndrew, a good hand in there. Just have to be more disciplined maybe in the tackle. And like we touched on with the breeze, we'll probably need to find a few more scores, but it's early yet.
Sean Fitzgerald now picks up possession. Solo down, tries to break inside. Hand passes off, gives the give and go. As he comes forward here. Donica McCumsky had won that ball initially. Possession now with Keane Hernan. Gives it back to McCumsky again. Runs down the right hand side. Hernan gives the give and go, starting to break a few lines. Clever little hand pass in field, coming through and goal. Half a goal scrum. Oh, wonderful tackle comes across. Brian Mitchell with a big haymaker of a left hand, got a vital contact on the football. Now Killannin come forward, but what an intervention that was.
Really good intervention, Johnny Heaney, and then Brian Mitchell came in with the near hand tackle, and just the perfect tackle, stripped it from the Bearna attacker coming forward and turns it over for his side.
So Jackatu now carries the ball forward, gives the ball towards Johnny Heaney, halfway line, looks up, bombs one in around the house towards Patrick Sweeney. He's backpedaling. Can he get control of the ball? He can't. He's pulled. It's a wild swing. What's the referee going to do? His body is everywhere. The notebook is out, and it was, but is it for the belated swing of the boot from Patrick Sweeney? I think it might be.
It probably is. There wasn't a whole pile in it. I'm surprised that Anthony is gone in, because to be fair to James Kane, he isn't showing any signs of any discomfort. It's Patrick Sweeney who's come out the worst of it. And to be fair, I think the ball was there to be played, and there was no malice in it, and rightly so. I don't think Anthony Coyne has taken any action. Yeah,
thankfully. I was reaching for the pocket initially, but I suppose good work by the referee. Keep it in your pocket. You hear some lads saying about keep the whistle blow to start and blow to let go again. We're not quite sure where we caveat that, but a fine medium in between is the line we want.
Absolutely, yeah.
So play restarts here again. Sean Fitzgerald had to put the gears up nice and quickly there. He's under a lot of duress now. Knievi half turning, but Fitzgerald does well. As Killannin still winning by 2 points to 1. 13 and a half minutes gone. They'll struggle to keep this one in play. Just about is Nonnicanocton did ever so well there. Hand pass the ball down the line where Dara Cox now is coming charging forward. Infield it goes. And as McCumsky comes across, a nice little ball across. Can they get the shot away? Tom Curran will surely go back on the left. Now back on the right he goes. Hand pass off towards Keane Hernan. Short little hand pass around. Shot has been taken by Sean Dunn, but it's nearly going to come back in his face. Hangs up in the air, snow on it as it comes down, spinning around a scramble. And the referee gives a free out. Free in has he given? In the end, I think he has given a free to Bearna in the end. All went a bit helter-skelter in there.
Yeah, Sean Dunn seemed to force it. It tied up there, and I think the Killannin man appeared to maybe catch the Bearna attacker on the back and rightly awarded the free. No complaints from Killannin. Another chance for Tom Curran to add to his earlier tally of 1.
Yeah, this will tie up the sides. Coming up to 40 minutes gone here in the first half in Salthill, and he makes no mistake for the second occasion. It's his 2 frees that have tied up the sides, 2 points apiece. We've gone halfway through the first half. Interesting there, just as that free's been taken, Patrick Sweeney had a good talk here with the Killannin management. He's working his way in towards the edge of the square where James Kennedy is going to tag him. But I'd say it's staying around, and we've seen the last couple of balls almost make the mark. But
yeah, they're not afraid to play Patrick with the long ball, which is always an option. James Kennedy, to be fair, is a good man marker inside as well, and we've seen his experience of over 10 years playing senior football. He's a good man marker, and will need to be tight, because Patrick, if he gets one of those balls, we know how effective he can be.
There's a fine catch out in the middle of the field there, but Caleb Malone gets his side on the attack. Bearna looking to go in front for the first time. Off the loop they come now with Dara Cox. Runs across the face of the 45 almost. Gives a short hand pass towards a couple of bodies. Sean Fitzgerald is the latest one to get possession of a line of 4-5 just inside the Killannin 45. And now they try and break as Nocton pops the ball off the shoulder. Nobody in a central zone at all. They've completely left that area free. And as they try and work it, Fitzgerald now going to right half forward position. Keeps on possession. Bearna keeping possession for large periods. Of course, they are playing against the elements here in Salthill. Still not as drastic as it was in the first half, but you only have to look at the flags in front of us just to see the strength of that breeze coming in off the Atlantic here. As Bearna now keeping possession, moving through the hands. Now they boot it over this side of the pitch, where Cox now will try and attack it down the face of the stand here in Pearse Stadium. Solos on the football, then goes towards the left hand side. Tom Curran's come out. He's 2 frees. Have tied the sides up, 2 points apiece so far. Sean Fitzgerald seen a lot of football so far. Gives it towards Keane Hernan. The 2 Galway stars combine now. Hernan, fresh with US oxygen in his legs, runs across the far side, spins around cleverly. Might have been fouled. He's still going muscles a couple of bodies out his way, pops hand pass across towards Tom O'Connor. Backwards it comes now again towards Hernan. Hernan swings with the right. This one has the legs. It's stopped on the goal mouth. But James Walsh comes out. Curran spins it to the shoulders. It's been tagged up as it's gone over, as it squeezed his way in. I think it has. Declan Walsh just squeezes it in. A very narrow angle, but gets a vital white flag for his side. And Bearna lead for the first time, 3 points to 2.
Yeah, really good score from Bearna. Held the ball for large periods. Similar to Uachtar in the first game when they held the ball for large periods, but found Declan Walsh inside, and he popped it over nicely, and they'll be delighted with the first quarter of this game. Bearna settled in really, really well, and in the ascendancy now, 3 points to 2 up. A big 10 minutes you'd have to think for Killannin. They'll need scores.
Yeah, James Walsh was clever there. He gave everyone the eyes and then stroked it over towards the left hand side. That allows Killannin to have a bit of possession themselves, but they're deep in their own half back line at the moment. They ping a nice one down the line. There's a bit of pressure comes on there, but Darragh Walsh will get the solo and go, and they've been held back for the first infringement. Not quite taken from the spot. Probably took the solo and go a little bit too late as well, as they go and reset this one. Killannin, you feel, probably need a score because Bearna have turned things around. They've got the last 3 scores in a row after Johnny Heaney 2-pointer all the way back in the second minute had given Killannin the lead. Heaney now, he's thinking about giving the solo and goal here. And it goes Heaney's driving his way through. Heaney back on his left. Heaney strikes off the left. Heaney, you know what's going to happen next. Over the bar she goes. We're level for the second time here in Pearse Stadium, and it's quickly turned into the Johnny Heaney show.
Yeah, great score from Johnny, and again didn't go the long option, took the give and go and burst through the defence. And first, I think a really good score for Johnny. That's his third. He opened with a 2-pointer, so Killannin will be happy with it and hoping to put pressure on James Kane's kick out here. 3 points each with 18 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, level for the second time. We'll be level at the end of the day, as Killannin now put all types of duress on James Keane, but it's well caught out in the middle of the pitch. And Donnacha McCumsky did ever so well there, and now it says Donnacha Octon. Has he been fouled there as well? He has. And Killannin moved this one quickly, actually. For large periods, they've kept controlled possession of the game. This time, they're coming to a bit more intensity. Here comes Killannin coming through. Pops the ball off the shoulder towards Dunn. Dunn pins it down. Oh, what a clever, desperately unlucky. Spins off the crossbar on the back stanchion. It is a point in the end, but it was nearly the second punch goal we've seen in Pearse Stadium this day. But Sean Dunn, like a little boxer with a little jab there, he's desperately unlucky not to get a green flag.
It's that just game smart. He had the awareness and the vision, and it was the right option. He was just really, really unlucky that came back off the crossbar, but went over, got his point. But then to go back to it, like earlier, Colin Ryan from Montpellier, that just smart and awareness of his bearings, and unlucky not to be a goal for Bearna.
So it is Killannin who trailed for the first time in the game here. Come to 20 minutes gone. Look at the pressure coming on though. Just about Bearna get out of there. McCumsky comes around and just about makes a dribbling effort, gets possession of the way. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but highly, highly effective. And now Bearna keep possession, and the pressure is coming on Caelan Malone here, and there's almost chalk on the boot. Is it off the ground? The officials say no. This lad's going absolutely berserk on the sidelines there from the Killannin perspective, but Tom Curran is coming like a train here, coming forward, and now Donnacha Ford pops the ball off the shoulder, tries to get the back door good, has got the back door, shot taken, wonderful save by James Walsh. Oh, that would have been a disaster altogether. They would have been fume on the sideline completely, but in the end, James Walsh, it adds to the tally of big saves we've seen today in Pearse Stadium. Also,
it would have been a controversial one given the remonstrations by the Killannin mentors right in front of them. It looked like a pick-up, I'm not sure, but like we touched on, Anthony was right in front of it as well, to be fair. That might have just had I think when Dara Cox picked it up, there was maybe a few inches there. It mightn't have hit the deck, but aside from that, the game progressed up the pitch, and a really, really good save from James Walsh. Probably was straight at him, but he still stood up and stayed strong, and a pivotal save. And like we touched on, that the first half there were some big saves from the Uachtar goalkeeper, and that's one from James Walsh that has kept them very much in the game.
I think it was Donnacha Ford with the backdoor cut with the hand pass, just cut open the defence there, led to the opportunity, but it is the netminder who not quite keeps Killannin into the game, but certainly denies Bearna a pivotal score, as Ryan Roach now drives forward and gives it towards Darragh Walsh. We talked about the two big young midfielders combining together. Walsh is under all types of trouble here, out muscled in the end. The Bearna defence is starting to become watertight. It's just as I say that, they give the ball away, unnecessary force, the turnover. Jack O'Toole is in. Is he being fouled? He is. So a free, and this is a 2-point effort as well. You'd imagine Darragh Walsh with the left boot will fancy this one to try and put his side back in front.
Yeah, good play there from Aaron Kavanagh. Aaron, I think, and Cian Hernan both involved in the successful Galway-Boston win. My own clubman, Colin Plumman, managed them this year, and they created history. I think their first wins for a number of years. It's good to see those two guys back and playing for Bearna, and you can see the difference that key players like that make when they come back into a side.
So here comes Darragh Walsh. It's almost out by the sideline. He'll be close towards the 2-point arc by the time he strikes it in front of the stand here. 22 minutes gone in the first half. It is Bearna leading by 4 points to 3. But here's a 2-point effort. Darragh Walsh, is he going to squeeze it in? Oh, of course it is. A glorious, glorious strike from Walsh. And as we said a little bit earlier on in the build-up, he is a 2-point machine, and he's got his first of the day.
Yeah, really good score, and he had even more distance on it. And even though it's only 22 minutes gone, you would have felt that Killannin needed that score to get themselves back into the game, and they will need to push on now with the next few attacks, given the size of the breeze blown in their favour.
They've certainly pushed up as well as the pressure comes on now. James Keane, it's Killannin leading by 5 points to 4 with that. Their second of the game, 2-point effort, this time from a place ball, but a beautiful strike. As Keane gives that the absolute welly, and it comes out of midfield and it's caught again out there. Malone, who's starting to pluck a lot of balls in the sky. The standout midfielder probably of the day so far here in Pearse Stadium, gets his side on the lead again. Dara Cox now gives a short little hand pass around towards Tom O'Connor. O'Connor now sole in possession of the ball, gives it back towards Malone. His catch is what led to this attack. Chips the ball down the corner here, where it's picked up by Donncha Ford. Ford now comes across now. Can he get the shot away? Has options. Is Tom O'Connor still going? Still on go. Heavy enough. Hit comes on there as well. There's a good few calls of frustration, but it looked pretty central to me, and Ford will feel that one in the morning. If he's like his dad Eddie, who was formerly down our way, he'll be the Ford Milton on their head of tough stuff. So I think the genes will prove good there as well. But he's had a fine game, and he's taken that like a warrior out there.
Yeah, he did well. He's been on a lot of ball, as has Dara Cox at 7 in the first half. They've both been quite good. And like we touched on, Quaylen alone in the middle of the pitch. He's tagging, I think it's Darragh Walsh he's tagging, but he's also winning a lot of good balls. So that midfield base is given the platform for Bearna.
So we'll get this opportunity from Tom Curran to get his 3rd point of the game, to tie things up actually for the 3rd time as well. 24 minutes gone. Curran from a central position makes no mistake, and we are levelled again here in Pearse Stadium. 5 points apiece, turning into a really lively game so far. Read in the build-up, Darren Kelly describing it in the Tribune as the game of the weekend. Probably has a lot to stand up to, given the quality, unexpected quality maybe at times, or unexpected excitement, probably more accurate, in the first game that we saw at Pearse Stadium. But certainly a lively game of football so far.
Yeah, and a lot to play for as well. Obviously Bearna need to win by, I think, 5 points to progress, but they're very much in that territory whereby they could kick on in the second half. Equally, Killannin will be disappointed, but still very much in the game. But we'll need to try and find some more scores before half time if they can.
Under pressure over there, but Rooney does well, skips out of him, and surely that's a free by Sweeney. He's frustrated, but looks straight forward. Now they take the solo and go. James Kennedy tried the little chip up, but Anthony Coyne deems that it wasn't taken from the correct spot, and still making them come back.
Yeah, good to see Cayman Rooney back as well. I know he struggled with injuries last year. Good soccer player and also a really good footballer, and he's going to be pivotal for Bearna later on in the championship at 6.
So it's Killannin on the attack again there as they come forward, sprinting out of the occasion. It's getting very scrappy out there. Look at the swarm of bodies in the middle of the field. You get a little bit of bite, a bit of intensity as well as proper championship football.
It certainly is, and it's tight, it's sensitive, and like the first game, quite really exciting and all to play for.
So bodies flying everywhere, but it's Sweeney now going for an effort. He's smashed late as well. Has he tailed it over? Will the free be given for the place ball? They're going to allow the contact to develop. He's going to allow the contact. So it's a wide ball, so it still remains 5 points apiece. But I repeat what I said about 30 seconds ago. It's getting hot and heavy. It's getting sparky.
It is. It's getting tight. Killannin will need to be, and they will look to be putting pressure on James Walsh's kick out. We touched on Dara Walsh and Ryan Roach, they're pivotal to Killannin, and they're a formidable pairing in the middle, and they'll be looking to get their hands on these last few kickouts.
This first half is flying by. 26 and a half minutes gone now in the first half in Pearse Stadium, as James Keane will try and give this one the boot again. He's gone over to his favourite right hand side for the majority of the game. Cale Malone has been under about 3 or 4 of them. That's where the body's going again, but has been punished for a little bit of a nudge in the back.
That should come forward.
And it's brought forward now as well for a few P's and Q's afterwards, and you would imagine that even if this free is being brought inside, will quickly come outside for a 2-point effort here. Brought to the very edge of the square of the 2-point arc, and the shot will come in, and they try and work a 2-point effort as Kelly goes into place ball. Has he got the contact? It looks like it has the accuracy. It is. It's a fine strike, and Enda Kelly gets his side third 2-pointer of the half to give them a 2-point advantage with 27 and a half minutes gone. Another fine strike.
A fine strike, and again Bearna will be disappointed because there's a discipline. They didn't hand the ball back. It was brought forward and brought it within Enda Kelly's range, but a really good score. We touched on that he has that ability, and the 3 guys that do, Johnny Heaney, Dara Walsh and Enda, have all contributed with 2-pointers in the first half.
Ball is blown off the tee as well. It was good to see Anthony Coyne there having a sharp word with his umpires, telling them to get that orange flag up as well to save the head getting them taken off in the middle of the pitch, but thankfully he has been spotted in time with the match official. And up go the bodies again. Walsh gets a hand of breaks for Killannin now on their other attack. Look at the blue wave coming forward, skipped around the corner. Can they get the shot away? Still going over on the right hand side is Marks. He covered a lot of ground, but then the scamper of defence comes across here. Caldwell got the ball back towards Johnny Heaney. Big punch pass through the line and comes on through, and it's Marks again. He's going through. I think he fancies a goal. Marks comes through, pops the ball off the shoulder towards the left hand side. Can they get the shot away? They can't. It's blocked by Brian Minskill. Might have been safer to punch the ball over the bar or even take a shot at directly for a point. Now it's Bearna on the counter attack. Here comes Hernan. Hernan spins the ball, loses possession of the ball. Has been punished. It was a free. They're taking it very quickly. You can't punch the ball forward though. The chance at anything to try and get an extra yard, but the game just gone up. Not that it was ever at a mundane level, up a couple of sparks of activity there
very
again.
Very much so. Keane Marks done very, very well, found Brian Mitchell, and they probably forced it. I don't think they needed to go for a goal. A point probably would have done, and tried to press up on the kick out. They went for the goal, it was turned over, and Bearna now are on the attack on the other end.
So can they try and chip away? It's now a 2-point advantage for Killannin. That latest, a 2-pointer, is the difference. So 2 minutes back to a more customary level of additional time. It was 8 added at the end of the second half in the first game. It'll land to an absolute grandstand finish as Sean Fitzgerald goes through, finds an opportunity to come through there. It's Donica Ford who does well. Is he been fouled? No, he's been gobbled up by Killannin, and Johnny Heaney now has to be careful, but cleverly finds half a yard. And they come forward down by the sideline again. Killannin trying to finish the game with a bang. Eddie, are you saying your same sort of line? You need about a 5-point advantage with this breeze?
We touched on the 5-point advantage in the first half, and it wasn't too far off. I think Uchtred led by 6 and they won by a point. So again, I'm going to stick with the 5 or 6 points, and based on that, I think Killannin with 2 more minutes to go, that they'll be looking for another maybe 2-pointer to give them that little bit of impetus going in at half time, but definitely a score at the very least.
So that's the Eddie Hoare team talk. Get moving, Killannin. That's your words of encouragement as we start those 2 minutes of additional time. Looking like they're making a change as well. Rory Green is stripped and ready to go for Killannin. We'll see how that develops. Don't spot a player down injured at the moment. You can imagine it would be if they're going to make a change so close to the half-time interval. They're in possession now at the moment. And here comes Heaney. Heaney is going to go for one from downtown. No solos. Goes across Keane Hernan. Still going. Tries to find half a yard. Tries to bury his way through. Spins around. Loses possession. Good work right back there from Bearna. Now their turn. Sean Fitzgerald has to spin around, but loses the ball. Roach is coming through. Fitzgerald is coming like a dog coming through and wins the free as well. Everyone's up on their feet here in the stadium. I think he just about got his body in front of the way.
Yeah, really good sequence there in terms of turnovers, and Bearna probably coming out the better of them. In one instance, Keane Hernan on Johnny Heaney, and then in this case, Sean Fitzgerald on Ryan Roach. Was borderline, but I think probably the right decision by Anthony Coyne.
So it's Cormac Kenevy who has made way. He's replaced by Rory Green. Number 17 for 5 for Killannin. As we've about 30 seconds or so left at the end of this first half. It's Killannin leading by 2, 7 points to 5. Bearna would restart in their own left half acquisition. Fitzgerald boots the ball down the line. Where it's won by Malone. He's been highly effective in the first half. Around the shoulder they go, and Malone gets it back at the second occasion. Now Killannin drives forward with the ball. Will he try and make it a 1-point ball game? He will. It's his second score of the game, and he's gone and nailed it. It's a fine score from Hernan. 1-point ball game, 6 points to 7, 20 seconds to go. Bearna will be very happy with that.
Absolutely, yeah. Another good score from Killannin. He'd be delighted with that. It's an important score. It puts the minimum between the sides, and I'd expect will bring an end to the first half proceedings.
So one more attack potentially to come. Will James Walsh be given time to come forward and boot this one along? Wind at his back, lofts it up in the air. T goes flying, but the ball goes even further. Over the bodies it goes, and Kelly flicks it on, and now Roach is open country on the left hand side. He has Sweeney inside, has been held up for a little bit of a second. Backwards it goes towards Kelly. Kelly comes across. He's got 1 2-pointer so far. Comes across now straight away. Can they get the shot in from distance? They can. It's a bomb of a score right in. Carl Walsh will end the half with a sweet 2-pointer. And there is indeed the last of the action, and we finished with an absolute bang. 9 points to 6, but Carl Walsh with the latest 2-point effort for Killannin, and it's as sweet as the rest of them put together.
Yeah, really good score again from Carl Walsh, and we touched on he has it in his range. He's a big physical athlete. He's playing sort of more deeper role inside today, but a really good score, and they needed it. We touched on the 2-pointers. Killannin have, I think, 5 scores, 4 2-pointers to Bearna's 6 scores, so we know what the difference. It's that long range shooting. But Bearna, to be fair, they have Cian Hernan, different players, Sean Dunn, Tom Kern, who'll all fancy their chances at taking on 2-pointers into that breeze in the second half. But we'll see at the end of full time how important that score from Cathal Walsh might be. And from the outside looking in here, from our vantage point, it could be a vital score.
Well, it's certainly been a lively game so far in this Bon Secours Galway Senior Football Championship. It is the round 3 clash in Group 2 between Bearna and Forbacha and Killannin. And it's Killannin. They don't quite have the 5-point buffer that Eddie would have desired, but certainly that 2-pointer at the death there from Carl Walsh edges them with a 3-point advantage here at the interval, where they lead Bearna and Forbacha by 9 points to 6. We'll leave you with some halftime highlights, and we'll be back very shortly for an unmissable second half to come. Staff, and on the attack comes Kenevi now outside the 45, gives it back towards Darragh Walsh, going for his first 2-point of the game. This one looks good off the hands, will strike with the right, and that one looks good in the first half. And Salthill, and he makes no mistake for the second one. As the legs is stopped on the goal mouth, but James Walsh comes out. Curran spins it to the shoulders. It's been tagged. Solo and goal here, and it goes Heaney's driving his way through. Heaney back on his left. Heaney strikes off the left, coming a bit more intensity. Here comes Killannin coming through, pops the ball off the shoulder towards Dunn. Dunn pins it down. Oh, what a clever! Oh, desperately unlucky. Spins off the crossbar. Off the ground, the officials say no. This lad's going absolutely berserk on the sidelines there from the Killannin perspective. But Tom Curran is coming like a train here, coming forward, and now Donica Ford pops the ball off the shoulder, tries to get the back door good. Has got the back door. Shot taken. Wonderful save by James Walsh. First half, it is Bearna leading by 4 points to 3. But here's a 2-point effort. Darragh Walsh. Is he going to squeeze it in? Oh, of course it is. Glorious. To tie things up actually for the third time as well. 24 minutes gone. Curran from a point effort. As Kelly goes from the place ball. Has he got the contact? It looks like it has the accuracy. It is at the second occasion. Now Cian Hernan drives forward with the ball. Will he try and make it a 1-point ball game? He will. Kelly comes across. He's got 1 2-pointer so far. Comes across now straight away. Can they get the shot in from distance? They can. It's a bomb of a score. You're very welcome back to Pearse Stadium. And it is the both sides out here in front of us for what's turning out to a potentially hugely pivotal half an hour of football ahead here for both sides. There's a little bit of a shock in the boots potentially happening in the other game happening at the same time in the group, where St James is leading Mike Cullen at half time, and that throws the group wide open completely, Eddie, doesn't it? We're looking at permutations. All of a sudden that 5-point advantage that Bearna might need as a win, 1 point might be enough the way things are going. There's a lot on the line here the next half an hour.
Yeah, lots of permutations, and if James do hold on and beat Mike Cullen in that encounter, they'll top the group. Mike Cullen will go into second, and then ultimately if Bearna win here puts Killannin into relegation. So much to play for in both games, so quite exciting. second halves in both.
Absolutely is. And Bearna on the attack straight away. It's a 2-point effort from Killannin. Oh my days, 10 seconds into the second half. Killannin, who got his side's last score at the half, that was quickly cancelled out by a Carl Walsh 2-pointer on the stroke of the half-time whistle. But what an introduction, what a start to the second half. And in the blink of an eye, it's a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, an inspirational score from Killannin. That's his third of the day. He, like you touched on, really good score before half-time, but a massive 2-pointer. Exactly what Cosmas Gilmore and his mentors would have wanted to start off the second half.
So 9 points to 8 is the Killannin advantage. It looks like this group 2 of the Bon Secours Galway Senior Football Championship is going to go right down to the wire here. A lot of action. We'll try and keep you covered in both games as well. Try and cover the permutations, but it's pretty much win your game first and see about the extras after. It seems to be the mentality, and quite difficult to get any form of a winner here. It's Donegal forward. That free has been brought forward for not releasing the ball back straight away. And this is a 2-point effort here, Eddie. You'd imagine Sean Dunn or indeed Tom Curran will fancy this one to try and put their sides in front with their second 2-pointer already of the half.
Yeah, it'd be the perfect start for them, and well within Tom Curran's range. He scored 3 frees in the first half, and this again, like we touched on, well within his range, just outside the advanced D.
And even more frustrating potentially if it is to come for not releasing the ball back. And listen to the roar, and 2-pointers in less than 2 minutes of football from Bearna and Forbacha have put them back in front here at Pearse Stadium.
Really
what a game of football is in front of us. We build up the second half. It's already delivered.
It certainly has, and Bearna have gone into the lead here. Bearna Forbo. That's Tom Curran's 5th point, 5th from a free, but it just shows the importance of having a reliable free taker, and he's nailed 5 out of his 6 attempts, or 4 out of his 5, giving him 5 points.
Killannin, though, do get possession, vital possession of the ball back there against the elements, don't forget, here in the second half. It looked like that Carl Walsh 2-pointer sent them on their way at half-time, but Bearna are starting to think otherwise as the ball bobbles across a couple of occasions. There's a scramble in here, and a free has been given in the end for that infringement on Brian Mitchell. Of course, he had a goal-scoring opportunity in the first half, but took a big save. And tonight, a green flag. We got 1 green flag at the end of, and 2 in fact, but 1 in particular kickstarted Duke Gerard's fine lead as Keane Marks comes forward now by the top of the byline, loses possession of the ball, and Sean Fitzgerald very cleverly, almost like Soboslai the other night on Monday night, just put the foot over the ball, and sometimes no touch is more important than none at all.
Done well and showed his experience and also his strength just to see the ball out.
So here comes the restart again from James Keane. He's first with the elements at his back here in the second half. 3 minutes gone. It's been pretty frantic so far in the second half. Where Bearna and Forbacha lead by 10 points to 9. Now Keane goes with the restart. This would be a huge win for their side, and he gives this one the absolute boot. Goes out towards halfway up, go the bodies. Almost a good catch out in the middle of the pitch. Again, it was Malone. He just does enough as the pressure comes on now. Is that a turnover? Referee's happy to allow the physicality to develop. And come across on the loop now into Kelly. Got a fine 2-point free early in the first half. Now Killannin are on the attack themselves. Marks pass the ball in field towards Kelly, just outside the Bearna 45, 65 in fact, as they drive forward possession of the football here. Kelly back towards Dara Walsh. Walsh now, a big hand pass down the left hand side, finds a bit of movement for Marks again, certainly leaving his mark in the game so far. He's had a fine game at wing forward so far. Mitchell backwards it comes now in turn towards Carl Walsh. Walsh now to the first stop substitute, Ronan Green. Green now comes across towards the left hand side where he'll potentially get possession again. They hold it through their hands, and over this side in turn where possession is picked up by Walsh. Walsh around the shoulder now, where it's Caldwell who leads, and Anthony Coyne has spotted some messing off the ball here, it would appear. And a free has been awarded. I didn't spot that one myself, Eddie. Maybe you might have
been. I think chugging on Enda Kelly. Well spot now whether it was the umpire or otherwise, but Anthony did spot it and there wasn't much complaints from Aaron.
So Enda Kelly, he got a 2-point free in the first half. This is a 1-point effort, but it would tie up the sides again. 5 minutes gone now in the second half, and Kelly makes no mistake. And over the bar it goes. It's Killannin's first point of the second half. It's 10 points apiece. 5 minutes gone here in the second half in Pearse Stadium. This game couldn't be any more delicately poised if we'd even made it in a football lab or any sort of stimulation. It's right on a knife edge here. It's anybody's game at the moment. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that other game happening also in the group. St James's and Marcullen. It was St James's who had the advantage at half time. That one would be potentially a result that would just shake up the group completely. But Kane now goes long again out towards the middle zone, out towards Malone again. It's over the head. It was picked up by Heaney, and Heaney's off the mark again. He spins forward, sprays a hand pass over towards the right hand side, where Ronan Caldwell's coming forward, slips as he tried to get possession away. It's still not managed to make it through here. Bodies are sliding in left, right and centre in the end. Donica Nocton comes out with possession of the ball. A vital intervention at the back there, because it looked like it might open up. Now Sean Fitzgerald in a more customary full back position tries to run from deep here. Starting to open up the legs and is motoring down the left hand side. Pops the hand pass off as he charges forward. The ball is behind him where Nocton gives it back towards Kennedy, and they move through the hands quickly, very close towards the sideline. But they are quite composed in possession of the football. 10 points apiece. 6.5 minutes gone now in the second half at Pearse Stadium. Bearna and Forbacha with possession, with the elements at their back here in their second half. Encouraged to move it a bit more, and they eventually now Nocton finds half a yard of space. Where's James Kennedy? Chips ball in towards the corner, but the sweeper is back there in turn, and Killannin gobble up possession at the backs there.
Yeah, well read Darragh
Walsh. Did so well, didn't he?
He did, yeah, read it really well and was out in front and cut it off really, really well. Puts Killannin on the attack again.
Killannin running into this breeze where it's Ryan Roach quickly down the line with Donald Henderson, cuts in field, quaps it off quickly towards Patrick Sweeney. Sweeney now looking for options, very close towards the sideline. Still on he goes, shrugging off the tackle coming in from Kavanagh. It still goes Sweeney, and the free's been awarded in the end. But my God, did he have to work hard for that one?
He did, yeah, to be fair, and again showed his experience and strength. And Anthony was gave him the advantage and brought it back for maybe a free that Johnny Heaney might potentially fancy from the deck.
Yeah, he'd plus it on the floor here, you'd imagine. It's just outside the 2-point arc, so it is for an attempt at the colour of the Bearna jersey. But put his side in front. In fact, he's going to go short. Didn't put it down at all, just chips it back, gets it back on the second occasion. Plays the 1-2 there. And now the ball is in field again with Sweeney. Goes across everybody, including Anthony Coyne, the referee. Pops the ball in field, short little hand pass. Someone's making his way towards Kelly. Kelly's fouled. This is a free hit here as well. And they've worked it cleverly from out the sideline. Now pretty much they have an attempt almost dead centre in front of the post.
Yeah, that's smart play. Johnny didn't force it, came back around short on the free. And now it's well within his range, I'd expect, just outside the smaller D. And Kelly using his experience too to draw in the foul, pull the hand around. I think the back will be a bit frustrated, but by the letter of the law it was a free. So which I'd expect Johnny Heaney will want to tip over.
Yeah, he's been handed a dash of water there by Carl Walsh.
Number 13, pushing O'Gorman, replaces number 35, Declan.
So Declan Walsh makes way, and Oisin Gormley, he's been a sharpshooter the last couple of years, in particular for Bearna. He will certainly add to the attacking firepower at their disposal. But all eyes now on John Heaney. Carl Walsh handed him a bottle of water to get him in the zone here. 9 minutes gone in this second half. This free off the floor. Heaney has already been lively so far. Gets a good connection this one and curls it in beautifully over the bar. It's Killannin back in front. 11 points to 10. 9 minutes gone in the second half. And repeating myself what I said a couple of moments ago, this game is set up so nicely.
Yeah, lovely score from Johnny. Just stroked it and perfectly found the right hand post and wrapped around. Really good score. That's Johnny's fourth of the game, his first free, and 3 others from play.
So Kane now comes to reset. And the latest score, it's now a draw between Marcullen and St James's, 9 points apiece. That kick out has been gobbled up here, and this comes the counter-attack, and in towards Sweeney's a couple of opportunities. This time he's going for a point as he's trying to chip it. It's just squeezed over the top of the crossbar. It is a 1-point effort. Half thought about going for the little lob in the end. I say he was half thinking about himself, but does get a vital point that puts Killannin up by 2.
Yeah, good ball in by Ronan Caldwell. Found Patrick Sweeney, who had to take Sean Fitzgerald on, but really done really well to win it, and backed himself, hooked it over his left shoulder with his right foot, and just found Just got over, but a really good score for Killannin. That's 3 on the bounce after Bearna's really good start to the second half.
Yeah, so here comes Keane again. He'll be looking for a different outcome than the one the last couple of moments ago. Pretty much came straight back at his goal mouth. This one has been gobbled up again here. Killannin making a little bit of a hay here in the mixed weather conditions here in Salt Hill, but the kick-out possession stats have improved from their end. So they've won the last 2 in a row. The last one got a point. And can they add to it with this one? It's called Walsh now. Standard position. Gives it towards Dara Walsh. Walsh now drives forward under a lot of duress there, but finds Call again. Now Call Walsh breaks the 45. Brian Roach has pushed forward, and now he will cut in from the left wing, open up the legs of pace. Walsh, here comes Roach coming through. He's been pulled down. And what colour is this card going to be? Tom O'Connor pulled down Roach as he bore down and goal. Anthony Coyne has a decision to make here as well. Probably a yellow, Eddie.
Probably a yellow, because I do think that potentially, maybe not, but there was a bit of a jersey pull on it. But going back to the actual play itself, Ryan Roach really opened up the legs, and for a big guy, he's quite pacey and powerful, and that was a really good attack and move.
Enda Kelly makes no mistake, and all of a sudden, from being level in the 5th minute of the second half, we're now in the 11th and a half minute, and it's Killannin who, despite facing against the elements, now lead by 3, 13 points to 10. It's been a fine couple of moments, you have to say, for Gay O'Brien's side.
Yeah, it certainly has. Having started the half poorly with two pointers conceded by Killannin, they've come back and effectively cancelled out those two pointers with 4 good scores of their own.
So the wind continues to howl, but it's Bearna this time win the breaking ball off their own kick out, and now their turn to come charging forward. They have to get back on track here. Despite what happens in the other game, they need to get the minimum of get the win here in this one. They might even need to win by an abundance if Mike Cullen were to get a come from behind victory. But that's a fine block at the black, and it's Killannin now who look the fresher of the sides as Marks comes charging forward, looking for options, has to cut in field, goes around Killannin. Marks does well, and now he's got a bit of open country again, finds Kelly. Shortly hand pass in field towards Sweeney. Sweeney now is going for this run like the same one a couple of moments ago. Is on the floor, probably touched that on the surface, scoops the ball out of play, and a free. Couldn't manufacture the free that time. Again, good work rate again.
Yeah, again, good play from Killannin, good turnover at the block. But Keane Marks has been really, really effective at 12 for a young guy. He's got through a lot of work and has been involved in a lot of the positive attacks for Killannin.
Hernan down the line, but it's intercepted by Heaney. Oh, lovely little hand pass. And I would heavily debate that one. I thought Heaney had got that one. He said it's not a punch pass. Ooh, I'll let you know your views. I think you can hear by my reaction. I thought he got the contact on the hand pass. I thought it was a clever play, the punch over the head, but yeah, the officials disagree.
The supporters feel the same. The Killannin supporters not happy with it, but Anthony ultimately is the man with the whistle. He makes the decision, but yeah, I wouldn't think I might have called it myself.
Either way, it is Bearna on the attack. Sean Fitzgerald on the shoulder, and they're coming forward here. Is forward over the top. Can he get the ball away towards Nocton? He's going to scamper. He gets position. He's in the corner forward position, and the free will come back for the first infringement. Killannin, they will be pretty frustrated by the last couple of decisions. I think that one though was totally justified, and it's been brought into a central zone now for some further back chat. And it's been quickly put over the bar. Tom Curran gets their first score in quite some time. It was two pointers in the first 2 minutes of the second half. We're now on the 14th minute, back to our 2-point ball game. Killannin 13 points to 11.
Yeah, important score for Bearna Furbo to counter Killannin's last 4 points. Again, discipline from Killannin. They just need to be careful not to allow the emotions kick in, because that became a very kickable score when brought in front of the goal. That's Tom Curran's 5th point of the game, his 5th free. He's been quite effective up top for Bearna.
Bearna win the kick out. I think it was Malone again. We'll stand corrected, but I think it was Malone in fact that won another kick out. He's counter high. Sean Dunn going for a 2-pointer. He's dragged this one out towards the right hand side and wide. His eyes lit up. We've watched him nail beauties over the year, and both the maroon and the orange of his club. Thought that one might have been another addition to the orange flag, Brooks, here in Pearse Stadium, but it's still, as we're halfway through the second half, Killannin leading by 2, 13-11.
13-11, yeah, and like the first game, as we touched on, that breeze is probably worth more than maybe 2 points in the last quarter, so Killannin will, you'd expect 13 points isn't going to win the game. So they will need more scores. But Bearna, on the other hand, Sean Dunn probably forced it. Felt it was within his range, but he did force it. But he'll know his range next time. A really effective shooter, Sean. All-Ireland winner a few years ago with Alan Glynn's minors. So I touched on, he'll probably have some more opportunities later on.
So it's Killannin now. A little bit fortunate perhaps. The kick out was a little bit low, but it was well read over there by Rory Green. He was fouled, and that's led to this period of attack here. And in fact, it's Green on possession now. And cleverly solos out of that tackle, and they had an advantage. So a free, a long way out from the goal here as well. Johnny Heaney grabs the football. He's going to try and pull the strings here again to try and potentially get a pass inside. Finds Roach over towards the right hand side, gives it back towards Heaney. Heaney now shortly hand pass finds Roach again, and backwards it goes towards Walsh, and in turn towards Roach, gets possession, has marks, and has a call Walsh in fact behind him, but Roach finds half a yard and is running, pops on the shoulder now towards Kelly. Kelly now backwards, it comes towards Call Walsh. Down the line it goes, where Brian Mitchell might have had a goal in the first half, but a fine block. A hell of a lot of football has happened since that moment of the game. Pressure comes on Green now as Bearna push up. Dar Walsh loses possession, and Sean Kelly and felt a little bit potentially soft that one, and free's been taken from the wrong situation, and it's restarted again here. We're Green. He's under duress now from Sean Fitzgerald, but just fine call Walsh and cleverly runs in towards the middle of the pitch looking for options. Bearna starting to swarm forward, but they cleverly switch it across towards this side of the pitch now. That's good work right over there by Ronan Caldwell. Back it comes towards Johnny Heaney, who looks up, doesn't have a long ball option, instead punches over towards the right hand side. It's clever little hand pass, just stretches the Bearna press. Kelly now gets it almost on the halfway line, has to be careful now. Thought about coming forward and cleverly put the handbrake on and recycle back, ball over the top, and it's a little bit of a push in there, unnecessary push you would say for Cox, because he'd nearly had the hard work done.
He did, yeah, and it was probably going away from Ronan Caldwell, so I think it was his ball to maybe win and just put the hand on the back and give away the free. But it's not in a scoring position, but still it is possession.
So Cole went towards the corner. I think that's a change potentially that take place there as well. It's Kento O'Connor, I think potentially is on there, the number 23. It is in possession of the ball. Didn't see him coming into the equation, but seems to be out there at the moment as Killannin now tries to hold on to their 2-point advantage. Heaney forever pulling the strings. Healy finds half a yard. Kenny back on his right. Heaney goes let fly outside of the boot. Johnny Heaney. What can you say? You just can't beat class.
Yeah, what a score. I know we've had 2-pointers, but that's, aside from the 2-pointers, that's the score of the game. Cut through with the breeze outside of the right. Really, not just the score, but the timing of the score to put Killannin 3 points up with 12 minutes to go was a really, really tonic score for Killannin. That's Johnny's 5th point of the game.
So here comes the restart again. All of a sudden a 3-point advantage for Killannin. Up with the bodies. It's broken by Killannin hand, but Bearna will retrieve possession here. Kumsky gets it over towards the left hand side, where Killannin now is going to take his time. Will he go for 2? No, dummies just outside the 2-point arc. Has to be careful. Loses possession. And
big turnover, Johnny Heaney.
It was Heaney who's stretching himself a bit, because he put every facet in his body into that challenge. Won a vital ball back for his side. They still have to be careful though. They're in the right half back position as they try and build out Bearna, increasingly squeezing forward. That could allow space to develop on both sides, but Bearna, you would feel we're coming up to 11 minutes of action left here, plus a bit of additional time. And Bearna, if they are to avoid a bit of a relegation battle, will come through. And South St. James will keep on going in the other game in the group. They lead Mark Cullen by 12 points to 9. That is a big score. It's a big impact in this game as well, as Patrick Sweeney comes charging forward. Might punch this ball over the bar. He punches across the goal. Can he get it bad? It can. But there is James Keane on the line. Nearly the 3rd batted goal in Pearse Stadium this afternoon. But the keeper, what an important invention that could have been.
Yeah, done really well, James Walsh, or James Keane, sorry. I felt Patrick done really well. Patrick Sweeney to beat his man, powerfully run. Probably, okay, the goal was on, but maybe the point, or the 5th point, was probably the better option. If the goal went in, we'd say otherwise, but it didn't ultimately. But Killannin have turned over the result.
They get another
turnover.
Bite of the cherry. I have to confess, when I saw him leaning back for the fist, I thought, yes, he's listening to me. He's punching it over the bar. Decided to try and force it. Would have been a huge score. They're looking to try and close it out, you would imagine. Be interested to see, you're in this type of situation, Eddie. Do you have to rely on input from your dugout on scores in the other game, or do you go in a bubble? What sort of way on earth do you hold that dynamic?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Ultimately, for Bearna, they know they have to win, so they're going to have to keep chipping away. And the last 10 minutes, if they're still within, if they're ahead, they just need to drive on and go for goals or 2-pointers rather than your points if they need a 5-point lead versus a 1-point win. But I think ultimately you just have to continue to keep winning your duels.
So a change has taken place there in the last couple of moments. Raymond O'Connell is on number 18 for Bearna. And waiting to see the change take place. It looks like they're preparing another change as well. It looks like Derek Cox, number 7, is departed. It is, so that is 18 for 7 for Bearna. Clock shows, what are we looking at? 9 minutes of normal time left here in Pearse Stadium. Great catch by Kelly on the runs. They're coming from where Mark's coming through. This time they come across again. Comes back to O'Connor. Can he get the shot again? Oh, what a bit of moment that is. Kenty O'Connor. He gave James Keane the little dummy. Shuffled back on his right. Arrowed it into the top corner. They went close a couple of moments ago, but they have rattled the onion bag now, Eddie.
Yeah, massive score. Decisive score. Kenty O'Connor. In this case, he kept his composure, got the ball and found the back of the net. A really good goal, but the composure is what done it, and it was the right option. They were ruthless, went for it, and you'd have to think at this stage probably a match-winning goal for Killannin.
It's certainly a knockout blow on Bearna and the Forbacha's remainder in this knockout stages of football. 11 points is their tally to the 114 now of Killannin. Time is running out, scoreboard is running out. But Killannin, who had such an amazing opening game, will they be disappointed the way the second game went, but they look like they're back with a bang here.
Most certainly, yeah. Looks like they're going to see this out after, like you touched on, beating St James's with such a great rally in the second half. But it just shows how tight some of these groups are, and the permutations and implications of every score can be really, really important when it comes down to it.
So Ronan Caldwell has departed. He's put in some shift there as well, as that free comes in from the right hand side, has tailed wide there. Change also potentially taking place here from Bearna also, but changes left, right and centre. That type of game, you need to get the fresh legs on. You need to try and get any form of moment.
Yeah, you can see the great reception for Ronan Caldwell. He's been a great servant for Killannin for the last 10 plus years. On the other hand, we see Dara Cox came off for Bearna. He had a good game. He was bright at 7. We'll be happy with his 50 minutes of football this afternoon.
Yeah, and that change for Bearna then. Pádraig Lenihan is on, and it looks like potentially Tom O'Connor, I think it looks like he departed on the far side as Killannin win yet another breaking ball. The momentum is with the blue and white at the moment, and now they come forward again here with Ryan Roach. He's covered so much ground in midfield. These youngsters, I think they're going to be knocking on Pádraig Joyce's door in the not too distant future, as Roach plays one over the top. James Keane's coming out from his goal mouth, had to do that because his defenders had been exposed there. Kane has to be careful, and he's taken too many steps, and a disaster at the end. The life of a goalkeeper, he done such important work. Probably he's not helped by lack of movement as well in front of him.
Done really, really well to intercept it, but then just maybe the lack of movement. If you look out here, we've just a sea of Killannin players around the middle of the pitch. Obviously the 3 Bearna players inside, but aside from that there wasn't too many options, and James then ultimately forced it. And given the range we've seen, the execution from Johnny Heaney in the first 50 minutes, I'd be expecting him to score this. Albeit a difficult strike, it's well within his range.
So here comes Heaney from the ground, just inside the 2-point arc. So it is an attempt at a 1-point flag. Bearna, as much as they look about score difference, Killannin, they'll be eyeing up as well to get them further up the group, as he forces it a little bit and just drags it towards the left hand side and wide. So it's still 114 to 11 points. As action in the other group, it's still St James's leading by Cullen by 12 points to 11. So that has huge impacts on this game as well. It looks like Killannin will be the one to try and make full advantage. They'll be chasing down Mark Cullen's score difference. That's a mini league as things stand between themselves, St James's. Mike Cullen and Killannin, as we touched on. But that's maybe calculations for a little bit of moment in the time. Bearna, from their point of view, they probably need a goal or two.
They do, most certainly, yeah. And depending on that result, they're still going to need a goal and look to win this game by the minimum if possible.
So they move it up towards the far side. Hernan comes back. It's the substitute in straight away. Lenihan comes forward. Huge amount of movement. I think people have realised that it's the roar starting to come in from the sideline. A little bit bizarre, but I think they've realised they need the scoreboard motoring here. That they trail at the moment. There's a long ball in around the house. Is there a push there? And Mitchell is just too strong on the end. It's out for a wide ball in the full there as the long attempt comes in. Another change taking place here from Bearna and Forbacha as they try, I suppose, desperately do anything to try and get, as Charlie Friel is being introduced here. I said they need a goal, but they probably need more momentum. They just need spark, a moment, something to clutch onto.
I think so. That was a long ball in, and Oisin Gormley, like you touched on, is an effective forward to have, but just Brian Mitchell done really, really well. Read it and was quite tight and broke away. And as they're chasing the game, they might potentially start to force it, and that's when other mistakes start to creep in.
So Caelan Maroney is departed there as Sean Fitzgerald now grabs the position of the football. Back towards Tom Curran, going for a two-pointer. This desperately needs to come over. I think he squeezed it towards the left-hand side, and wide he has. It's just not happening at the moment for the team in orange.
Yeah, they needed that, but again, probably the right man to be taking it on. Tom Curran has kicked 5 this afternoon and has been a talisman for them for the last number of years, but just when you're shooting from outside the arc, the percentages are lower, and in this case it just tailed off to the left marginally, but did go wide.
So here comes a James Walsh to try and restart. You know, this weird situation now as well, where Killannin, they're probably at a situation where potentially, obviously they want to secure the win first, but they could probably do another point or two as well to up them up even more, another notch on the table.
If James's do win, it's all 3 teams on 4 points, so it goes down to ultimately a mini game between them all. I think so. Potentially this, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's actually a count. It's a mini.
It's a mini league. Yeah. Between within loose possession though. So it is fascinating action to be left here. 2.5 minutes of normal time as the substitute springs forward, chips the ball over the top. And it goes towards Sean Dunn. He needs to go for goal. He is going for goal. It's what a block at the end. Still go at the second occasion. Let's fly. Over the bar it goes. Nearly a goal. He was stopped by some frantic and some high quality Killannin defending. Does get the point in the end. So 12 points now from Bearna and Forbacha. 114 for Killannin. 28 minutes gone. We could have a grandstand finish.
Most certainly, yeah. Donald Henderson again putting his body on the line to block Sean Dunn's initial goal-bound effort. To be fair to Sean, he did respond and let fly on it. It goes over the bar. But again, maybe they are starting to run out of time. You'd have to think that if they are to progress, it's a goal they'll need.
They have gotten out possession. Hernan now is starting to really put his hand up in the last couple of months. So 3 minutes of addition time. As the 2-point effort comes in outside of the boot, as this one the legs, it's offside the post and desperately unlucky as it comes out for a wide ball. The moments in the game just aren't falling for them.
No, again another 2-pointer that tailed off, and we saw in the first game as well. There was just them few efforts for 2-pointers that were forced that went away, and ultimately
so Ray Connolly with the latest one there, the number 18. Is there another change taking place here as well? It looks like it is. John McGoran is getting ready for Killannin. They want to see this out now as well. They'll probably take the win as things stand. The way things are going, Bearna is starting to get a bit of momentum in the last couple of moments. Oh, what a catch out in the middle of the pitch that is. And Killannin come on the squeeze themselves here. About 4 minutes of time left here in Pearse. Ball up towards Kelly, doesn't stick though. As he wins the ball cleverly back, although it's been deemed to have been an illegal contact. So the change will take place here now. Initially, as we're about to start the addition time, a card is potentially being flashed here. Enda Kelly's been booked for that one, and John McGoran will be on here in the next couple of moments. It looks like they might allow one more phase of play to develop here before they make that change, as Bearna have to restart pretty much on their own 65 as we hit the hour mark, where they trail by 12 points to 114. A short ball finds Keane Hernan. It's orange and green flags they need right now. As they come on the attack, a slip though from Lennon. He does well to get possession back. Pressure comes on here, but Bearna have been fouled here as well. And do you quickly take this one over? Tom Curran grabs it. I think Eddie with the free. What are we looking at? Just outside the 45, left hand side. You go for the two, don't you?
He'll take a good kick now, and he'll probably need to force it. It's within his range, but he'll need to really connect with it sweetly and allow the breeze to take it over.
So here comes Curran. He's going to go from the hand, so he'll be close to the 45 as we're 30 seconds into addition time here as well. He needs to try and put a goal between the sides and then squeeze the potential kick out. Strikes with the right. Has it got on the accuracy? He has. It's a wonderful score. It's a pressure score. It's a 2-point effort. And it is just a goal between the sides at the moment. Kentu O'Connor's goal in the 22nd minute of the second half is currently the difference between the sides.
Yeah, one goal in it, and we've here in Athenry a draw game in Athenry, which should put Moycullen top on 5 points. Killannin then will go second and St James's third. My calculations make it. So again, just...
So here comes Walsh as the ball hangs up in the air, blows slightly backwards. Who's going to get possession of the ball? I think it's Ryan Roach out through a crowd of bodies. Man, ball that works, and comes charging forward with vital possession of the ball. He's been fouled as well, despite the best efforts of Sean Fitzgerald. That's going to be brought forward. And Eddie, without going over top, I think that's the game over.
It's a big one, and Anthony is bringing it right in front. 50 yards for descent, I'd say. Bearna will be probably a little bit feel aggrieved there. I thought it was a harsh one, but it's been brought right in front of goal. And Enda Kelly should tap this over to put 4 points in it. Like you touched on, Johnny, I would think that Killannin should see it out from here. 32 minutes. I'm not sure how many added.
It's 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Added, so about a minute left.
Game over.
Yeah. So here comes Kelly to make it the all-important 2-score game into the last minute of injury time. Kelly just look like he's going to wrap it up with a pretty bow as he strikes it over the bar. 1:15 now for Killannin. 14 points to Bearna and Forbacha, but time is desperately running out, and it looks like it will be a relegation scrap again for Bearna, unless something drastic can happen now with the restart coming now from their goalkeeper James Keane. So he sits it down, has to reset here. He's certainly taking his time but trying to work something. Goes over towards straight down the eye. They're going up with the bodies. It ricochets left, right and centre, and out comes it through. The possession there was Carl Walsh. That's important as any sort of score. Scrappy hand pass a little behind Brian Roach, but he rides it like a warrior coming through. And just what a performance Ryan Roach has had for Killannin out there.
He's been Trojan, especially in this second half. We did touch on the midfield area. Cathal Walsh has got his hands on a lot of big ball as well in the second half, and obviously scored that big 2-pointer before half time as well. But Ryan has been excellent, not just winning primary ball, but also driving forward and causing headaches for Bearna for right throughout this second half.
So the latest change for Killannin sees Luke Carr take the place of Enda Kelly. Kelly's at some 5 moments. He's become the trusty place kicker in the second half, as Lennon puts a lot of pressure on over there, but Heaney just bounces off the couple of Bearna players and gets the ball down the line. And Bearna now will have to get possession of the ball back. Firstly, Killannin will try and hold it. They lead by 4 as things stand. As they keep on possession, Heaney's under pressure as he's taking a step too many. He gets the free. I think he has been given the free. This one is carefully placed back. Jim Gavin will be happy with that situation. They got punished a couple of moments ago, a moment. But there indeed is the full-time whistle here at Pearse Stadium. It's victory for Killannin, 115 to 14 points. A great game of football, firstly, but Killannin probably just edged it at times.
Yeah, a great game of football. I think probably from a scoring perspective, probably some more scores than the first game. Killannin will be happy. It's job done for them. Bearna, on the other hand, will now go into relegation. It'll be obviously a difficult week for any club. Ourselves, we're in it too, and a down and Monavey, so that's 4 teams in relegation. But for Killannin, again, having beaten St James's in the first round, would have been disappointed to lose to Moycullen 2 weeks ago, but came back here, and you'd have to say on the balance of play were probably the better team and deserved the win in the end.
That Kento O'Connor goal, the moment that he took to pause and shimmy around James Keane, such an important moment of the game. Quality finish at the end, but the little bit of a jiggle just to find a bit of room is just pure and utter class.
Yeah, he showed great composure. He had a chance before, to be fair. I think Patrick probably over hit the pass across to him, but he did have a chance before, but showed great composure and passed the ball into the net past James Keane. So well done to Kento O'Connor, who came on, was introduced, and it was a pivotal goal. And once it went in, you had to think that Killannin were going to see it out from there.
Talk to me, the usual question after this, to put you on the spot again, make you earn your dollars, your man of the match.
Yeah, again, just touching on the Bearna firstly. Tom Kern.
Bit of messing after the ball here now as well. It's something we don't need to see. A couple of supporters not taking heed of the full-time whistle. I'll let you carry on.
Tom Kern was very effective. As we touched on, Tom Kern has a lot of experience and has been a leader in that Killannin team, in that Bearna team for a number of years. So I think 6 points. 6 or 7 points. He actually kicked a lot. He kicked 3 in the first half and had 5, so he had 8 points in total, Tom Kern, which was a great return, to be fair. So well done to Tom. Sean Dunn, effective, and the Galway guys in Cian Hernan and Sean Fitzgerald were quite good in around the middle of the pitch. For Killannin, on the other hand, felt Donald Henderson done well at the corner in cornerback. We touched on his diving block in the second half. Brian Mitchell really effective. Had a goal chance in the first half, but was really good and effective. And we know he was a really good underage player for Killannin for a number of years and played bits with underage Galway teams. Ryan Roach was outstanding in the middle of the pitch. Him and Dara Walsh were excellent and have had excellent championships. That's a really, you'll find it hard to get as good a midfield pair, and I think in the championship, to be fair to both. Up front, Keane Marks I thought was excellent, got on a lot of ball for a young guy. Patrick Sweeney was really effective inside. Enda Kelly on the freeze showed his experience. Cathal Walsh, big 2-pointer before half time. So like I touched on, a really good all-round performance. Thought Rory Green done well when he came on, Kento O'Connor. So some of the subs made a big difference for Killannin in the end and contributed handsomely. But for me, the man of the match in this instance was probably between Ryan Roach and Johnny Heaney, but I'm marginally going to give it to Johnny in this occasion. He kicked 5 points and some big points when they needed it. It was the all-round leader for large parts right throughout the 60 minutes. Ryan Roach was exceptional in the second half, but I feel Johnny Heaney just marginally gets the nod for me. Yeah, that outside of the boot effort in the second half probably is the one that sticks in my mind. I know he had some important scores, but the way he cut in here against the breeze and just arrowed it outside the boot, perfection. Absolutely, yeah, and he has that. We've seen him do it time and time again. He has such great experience, having been brought into the Galway panel in 2016 by Kevin Walsh, and he's grown year on year to become a formidable player and I suppose presence within that Galway squad. I met him coming into the game today, and he's always a great professional, prepares really well, looks after his body, and is a real leader in that Killannin group. Another one to touch on as well, like we said, from Killannin side, Ronan Codwell was really effective. We saw the reception he got coming off, and also I think Dara Cox was very good for Bearna, as was Aaron Kavanagh, who we touched on, came back from Boston. But in the main, it's two different journeys for both clubs. Bearna in one hand are on the relegation like ourselves. Killannin will be eagerly anticipating and waiting for the draw when it does take place this weekend for a preliminary quarter final, and they're worthy of being there. 4 points is a good tally, having beaten St James's, bet Bearna today, and will be a difficult opposition for any team in the upcoming draw. Perfect. And just to wrap you up on the standings, it was looking quite complex at times there with the games going neck and neck, but it has been straightforward in the end. It's Smock-Cullen who topped the group. They're on 5 points. Second place will be a seeded prelim quarter-final team, will be Killannin. St James's are also through, they'll be unseeded, and as you touched on there, Eddie, Bearna and Forbacha into the dreaded relegation scrap, where I suppose one win is the name of the game in that type of situation. Thank you, Eddie, so much for joining us here. It's been a thoroughly entertaining,
double header of action here in Pearstone. Don't forget, lots more action to come tomorrow as the Galway Senior Football Championship, the Secours Galway Senior Football Championship gets into full flow. It's at the business end of the championship, but here the full-time score is it's victory for Killannin. They've defeated Bearna and Forbacha by 115 to 14 points. Stay with us. We will leave you with some full-time highlights and hopefully some post-match reaction to come also. Staff, and on the attack comes Kenevi now outside the 45, gives it back towards Darrell Walsh, going for his first 2 points of the game. This one looks good. Off the hands, will strike with the right, and that one looks good in the first half in Salthill. And he makes no mistake for the second one. As the legs is stopped on the goal mouth, but James Walsh comes out. Curran spins it to the shoulders. It's been tagged. Solo and goal here. And it goes Heaney's driving his way through. Heaney back on his left. Heaney strikes off the left. Coming a bit more intensity. Here comes Killannin coming through. Pops the ball off the shoulder towards Dunn. Dunn pins it down. Oh, what a clever. Oh, desperately unlucky. Spins off the crossbar. Off the ground, the officials say no. This lad's going absolutely berserk on the sidelines there from the Killannin perspective. But Tom Curran is coming like a train here coming forward. And now Donica Ford. Ford pops the ball off the shoulder. Tries to get the back door good. Has got the back door. Shot taken. Wonderful save by James Walsh. First half, it is Bearna leading by 4 points to 3. But here's a 2 point effort. Darrell Walsh. Is he going to squeeze it in? Oh, of course it is. Glorious. To tie things up actually for the third time as well. 24 minutes gone. Curran from a 2 point effort. As Kelly goes into place ball. Has he got the contact? It looks like it has the accuracy. It is at the second occasion. Now Killannin drives forward with the ball. Will he try and make it a 1 point ball game? He will. Kelly comes across. He's got 1 2 pointers so far. Comes across now straight away. Can they get the shot in from distance? They can. It's a bomb of us.
Second half in both.
Absolutely is. And Bearna on the attack straight away. It's a 2 point effort from Killannin. Oh my days. 10 seconds into this.
Within his range, just outside the advanced D.
And even more frustrating potentially if it is to come for not releasing the ball back. And listen again, 5 minutes gone now in the second half, and it's gone in the second half. It's free off the floor. Heaney has already been lively so far, gets a good connection this one, and curl and in towards Sweeney's a couple of opportunities. This time he's going for a point as he's trying to chip it. It's just squeezed over the top.
He's quite pacey and powerful, and that was a really good attack and move.
And for some further back chat. It's been quickly put over the bar. Tom Curran gets their first score in quite some time. He was pulling the strings. Healy finds half a yard. Kenny back on his right. Heaney goes let fly outside of the boot. John. Clock shows. What are we looking at? 9 minutes of normal time left here in Pearse Stadium. Great catch by Kelly on the runs. They're coming from where Mark's coming through. This time they come across again. Comes back to O'Connor. Can he get the shot again? Oh, what a bit of moment that is. Can't do O'Connor. He gave for goal. It's what a block at the end. Still go the second occasion. Let's fly. Over the bar it goes. Squeeze the potential kick out. Strikes with the right. Has it got on the accuracy? He has. It's a wonderful score. It's a pressure score. 2 score game. He's at the last minute.